And welcome, Bull League sports fans, to this November 19th game with the Newcastle Nuclears at the Sydney Sailors. Newcastle is in first place in the Australian division, and Sydney is in second place, first in the wildcard position. We're going to get underway just shortly. Just want to recap who the starting lineups will be for the teams. Well, at least the starting pitchers. The starting pitcher for the Newcastle Nuclears will be Roderick Oppenheimer. The right-hander has a 2-4 record coming into today's game and a 3.45 ERA. For Sydney, it'll be Carol Seguin. Carol with a K, Seguin. The lefty is 2-1 on the season with an impressive 1.07 ERA. And here we are in wonderful Sydney, Australia, about to get underway with this game between these two competitors at the top of their division in the Australian division, or the Australian League of the Bull Oceanic League, which is, of course, the 50-game short season, off-season league of the Bull League. We are at Lake City Ballpark in Sydney. Newcastle so far is 5-0 against Sydney this year. And today we've got an 11-mile-an-hour wind. First pitch of the game. Sorry, just trying to catch up here. Seguin facing off with Randolph Wilcox, the second baseman, switch hitter, who's batting right. And he's gone 6 for 17 against the Sailors with an impressive 3.53 average. And the first pitch of the game is a walk. Sorry, excuse me, it is a ball. With a 1-0 count, Seguin delivers ball 2. A check swing, and the umpire will rule this one a strike, so now the count goes to 2-1. Ball 3 to the switch-hitting second baseman, Wilcox. 264 on the season with a home run and 7 RBIs, 5 stolen bases. That's the kind of guy you want leading off your team. And he's lined one down the left field line. It's a base hit into the corner in left field. Wilcox rounds first, and he's into second with a stand-up double. And he took a liner to that low ball, just shot it right down the left field line. Now Randolph Wilcox on second base with Satrio Ananas up to bat. The lefty's batting .234 in the season with 4 home runs, 9 RBIs, and a couple steals himself. Wilcox is a threat to steal third base as well. And the first pitch to Ananas fouled away behind home plate. Swung on and missed for strike 2. The pitcher, left-handed pitcher Seguin today with 24 strikeouts, and he'll notch another one with an inside corner pitch, change-up pitch on Ananas, who watches it going in. Les Groves, the power-hitting catcher, up to bat, 19 RBIs so far this season, 378 average. He's even got a couple of steals in there. Runner on second, 1 out. Look, Groves is hitting .400 against Sydney. He's had a very successful. Oh, and there goes Wilcox stealing third base. And that'll be steal number 6 in the season for Randolph Wilcox. Groves, 0-1 count, 1 out. With Wilcox now on third. We'll see if Newcastle is going to try a sac play or small ball play here. My guess is with Groves hitting, it'll be swing away. He is the top hitter in the league right now. And fastball low for strike 3. So, excuse me, ball 3. 3-1 is the count. And that'll be a walk to Groves. He's issued a free pass, and that'll bring up Tim Ebling, the designated hitter, with a .267 average, 1 home run, 17 RBIs. Ebling's on a 10-game hitting streak. And Seguin will pitch a fastball low and inside to Ebling for ball 1. Called strike, and the 92-mile-an-hour fastball to Tim Ebling. Runners at the corner with 1 out. And the 2-1 pitch misses low again for ball 3. Seguin's really pitching around the strike zone here for Tim Ebling. He is a danger to knock a run in. I think at this point they'd rather walk him and try their luck with Walter Stewart. There's a fly ball out to right, and Roberts will catch that one. Wilcox is tagging up, easily scoring from third. So the sac fly for Tim Ebling scores Wilcox from third. That'll bring up Walter Stewart fifth in the order. .277 hitter with 8 home runs. He's the power, the true power hitter. Groves has got a great average, but Walter Stewart's the one generating runs. 24 RBIs in the season. Groves on first with 2 out. And Walter Stewart is leading the Australian League in home runs and RBIs. First pitch taken for a ball, high and outside. Seguin low with a fastball, clocking in at 94. And he sends one into the dirt by Stewart's feet. Ricardo Rodriguez, the Sydney catcher, had to retrieve that one. And he'll get a free pass. That's 2 walks so far in the top of the first inning. Carol Seguin doesn't tend to give up a whole lot of walks, but these Newcastle batters are very careful batters. That's partly why Newcastle's doing so well so far this year. They've got great eyes and a lot of patience. So Groves moves to second, Stewart's on first, and we've got Otto Hahn, second on the team and in the league in home runs with 7. And he knocks a ground ball to short. The throw to second, and that'll retire Stewart for the forced play at second. That brings up the Sydney Sailors for their first bats of the game. Newcastle does score a run in the top of the first. Molly Monty, the center fielder, switch hitter, will be leading off for Sydney. Roderick Oppenheimer, as we mentioned, the pitcher, 29 strikeouts in 44 innings, 3.45 ERA. His first pitch inside, ball 1, the changeup. And Monty knocks a slow roller over to short. Hahn grabs it though from third, makes the play. Oh, there's an error, and looks like Fat Man dropped the ball on the throw, and that'll be his first error of the season. Molly Monty reaches base on an error. Doug Powell stepping up to bat, the designated hitter. Hitting 138 so far this season, 2 home runs and 8 RBIs. Molly Monty, a threat to steal. He's quite quick. 10 stolen bases so far this year. Oppenheimer's really going to have to have his eye on Monty for this next few at-bats here. First pitch to Powell, fastball inside, but he's given that one a wide strike zone, the home plate umpire, so that'll be a strike. And they've now decided to pitch out to Oppenheimer. Oppenheimer's now decided to pitch out to Powell. Throw to first. Monty's back to the base. So they're expecting Monty to go for it. And there's the throw again over to the first base bag. Fat Man unable to tag Monty in time. That'll be high for ball 3. Fly ball to right. And Ananas puts that one away. All right, 1 out, 1 on. Wayne Southey, the left fielder, coming up. And first pitch to Southey. Inside and high. The fastball for ball 1. Sydney was on a tear earlier, just after the All-Star break. They're 8-2 in their last 10 games. They've really done a lot to catch up to the Newcastle Nuclears, although the Nuclears seem to have their numbers so far this season with the 5-0 advantage. Newcastle, of course, won yesterday. Sydney took a lead right into the 9th inning. Newcastle came back with a grand slam home run. What a way to win a game. And today Newcastle holds a lead as well. That one's fouled off, the 3-1 pitch. Oppenheimer falling behind in the count, letting Southey take a little bit of an advantage. Monty goes for second. That one's deep to left field, and to center field. Van Kratz gets there, but Monty's safe at first. He was caught off first. He was safe on the throw back to first. Christos Blankhorn, hitting .223 this year with 4 home runs, 21 RBIs. 3rd in the Australian League with RBIs. Oppenheimer going to first to try to tag Monty. Blankhorn and Southey are the 2 power hitters in the Sydney lineup. Blankhorn with 21 RBIs, as mentioned. Switch hitter. It's good to have a switch hitting, power hitting third baseman. Oppenheimer keeping Monty honest again over at first. Oppenheimer at the deliver. Slider taken for a strike. 0-1 is the count to Christos Blankhorn. Monty goes for second, and he's thrown out on a beautiful throw from Les Groves. That time they caught him. Groves now has gunned down 9 of 20 base thieves. And that'll be 3 out for the bottom of the first. We'll move into the second frame. Beautiful toss out by the catcher, Les Groves. Not only can the man hit, but he can also throw a baseball pretty hard. And Monty, with 10 steals, does not get steal number 11. George Van de Kratz stepping in to the plate, 7th in the order for Newcastle. Center fielder's a lefty, batting .042 on the season with just 1 RBI and 1 hit in 24 at-bats. Seguin throws it in, a low changeup, and that'll be good for a strike. Fouled off behind home plate. And Seguin lets this one go too low for a ball. Caught him swinging with a fastball. The 1-2 pitch will send Van de Kratz back to the dugout. Fat Man, the first baseman for Newcastle, coming up to plate. Right-handers batting .233 in the season, 3 home runs, 10 RBIs. 17 hits in 73 at-bats. And the first pitch to him is a strike. Newcastle definitely will be looking to add to their 1-0 lead. Sydney is a team that's capable of definitely unleashing runs, as they proved in yesterday's game. Newcastle was quite fortunate to take advantage of some late game poor pitching that loaded the bases. And I believe it was Les Groves that got the game-winning Grand Slam home run yesterday. To check my stats on that. Fat Man with a line drive, and Garza leaps up, the shortstop, making the grab, and that'll send down batter number 2. Daniel Deturium, shortstop. Another switch hitter, 2 in the lineup for Newcastle today. Deturium batting 171 on the season. The inaugural Bull Oceanic League season, with 1 home run and 3 RBIs. And Deturium holds his swing for ball 1. The curveball came in low and inside. Seguin inside again. Definitely trying to take command of that plate. Deturium waiting for the right pitch. And this one will go right through the strike zone for a called strike. And the 2-1 pitch right at the knees for strike 2. This one up and high and tight. That was clearly aimed towards Deturium's head. Seguin might be trying to send a message here. That'll be ball 3, so it's a loaded count, or a full count to Deturium. Swing and a miss. Deturium strikes out. And that's 3 up, 3 down for Newcastle. The Nuclears are still ahead, 1-0. Christos Blankhorn will finish his at-bat. The cleanup hitter, also another switch hitter in the lineup for Sydney tonight. Here in the bottom of the second. And the first pitch to Blankhorn from Sydney, Roderick Oppenheimer, is right down the pipe for a fastball, strike 1. Blankhorn with the swing, and that one sent into the air in center field. That'll drop in fair in front of Van de Kratz. Blankhorn is aboard with a single. Zach Cooper, the second baseman, stepping up to the plate now against Oppenheimer with a runner on first and no out. He's been hitting .417 against Newcastle this season. He's quite capable of getting hits off the Newcastle Nuclears. First pitch fouled off. Low and inside, ball 2, ball 1. Swing and a miss for that slider. This one's fouled off behind Groves. 1-2 count. Here's the pitch. Check swing, and the umpire rules he's held up on that one. Zach Cooper gets another life at the plate. Oppenheimer delivers his fastball low and outside. Not over the plate enough, and that'll be a full count. Swing and a miss, and he strikes out Cooper for strikeout number 1 of the game. It's number 30 on the season for Roderick Oppenheimer. Blankhorn waiting impatiently at first base. Ricardo Rodriguez up to the plate. Batting .313, he is leading the team in batting average. .350 against Newcastle. First pitch to Rodriguez, low for ball 1. Swung on and fouled back towards the media box. Almost had myself a foul ball there. And this one's fouled off to the visiting dugout. Manager Dylan Macaron grabs that one, throws it to a fan. The 1-1 pitch into the dirt for ball. Sorry, 1-2 pitch into the dirt for ball 2. Fastball high and inside for ball 3. Full count to Ricardo Rodriguez. Blankhorn still at first, fouled off. Rodriguez stays alive for another pitch. Oppenheimer, not known for a long stamina. This one's fouled off. Wilcox not quite able to catch it. Yeah, Oppenheimer, as I was saying, not known for his longevity. Will likely be out by the 6th inning. Maybe even sooner if we get too many more of these 8-pitch at bats. Rodriguez goes down looking at a fastball that catches the outside corner, and that'll be out number 2 against Sydney. It's 2 strikeouts in this inning for Oppenheimer. Dave Gallegos is ready to hit, batting .257 with a home run, 7 RBIs. Sydney still with a runner on first, now with 2 outs. And the first pitch to Gallegos, wide. Line drive, shot to left field over to Stewart. That'll drop in for a base hit. Blankhorn easily moves to second, and Gallegos is aboard with the 2-out liner. That shot was so hard that Blankhorn didn't have a chance at getting to second. Stewart had fielded that one fairly quickly. However, runner in scoring position, the tying run at second. And that'll be a wild pitch to the next batter, Brian Roberts. First pitch to him goes wide and wild. Blankhorn taking third, Gallegos moving to second. Newcastle needs to pitch themselves out of a little jam here. Slow roller to short. Deuterium throws across, and that'll be out number 3. So no runs for Sydney, although they do manage 2 hits. And they left both runners on. Randolph Wilcox back to the top of the order for Newcastle here in the 3rd inning. 1 for 1 today with a double. And his pitch grounded over to third. Blankhorn makes the pickup. He can't make the throw, and Wilcox reaches base on a hard shot to hard shot to Blankhorn at third base. He was able to play it, but not able to get a throw across. Satrio and Annis up to bat again. Wilcox, the speedster, at first. And the throw to first. He's safe. Back over to Gallegos covering first base. Wilcox not falling for it. Wilcox draws another throw. And Annis swings on the pitch, and he misses for strike 1. No doubt the pickoff throws are throwing in Annis timing off. And this one's a pitch out for ball 1. Counts even at 1-1. Next pitch fouled off. Sydney patiently, carefully watching Wilcox at first. Another pickoff throw. Wilcox is back to the bag. 1-2 pitch, fastball outside for ball 2. And Annis gets under that one. It's a fly ball to right. But Roberts is easily playing that one. No chance for Wilcox to move ahead. Brian Roberts, excellent arm in right field. He would have rifled that one to second no time. No problem at all. So 1 out with Wilcox still on first. Les Grove steps up to the plate. Swung on and missed. Second pitch. That'll be a 1-1 count now. Fouled off down the first baseline, and that'll land foul. Gallegos not quite able to come and get it. The 1-2 pitch. Groves lines that one down the right field line. This will drop in for extra bases. Wilcox rounding third. He's on his way home for a score. And that's a RBI double to Les Groves. 2-0 Newcastle as Wilcox scores his second run of the game. Tim Ebling with the first RBI earlier has Groves on second base with just one out. Fly ball to right. Roberts grabs that one for the catch. Groves will tag up and is safe at third. Roberts unable to fire off a throw to third base in time to catch Groves. 2 out with a runner in third. Seguin gets the sign, low and inside. The first pitch to Walter Stewart, ball 1. And the 1-0 pitch comes inside for ball 2. Stewart, I believe, had a walk in his first at-bat. As the count goes to 2-2 with that fouled ball. And another one fouled off to the left this time. He watches that slider go low for ball 3. Almost into the dirt. That was very nearly a wild pitch that could have scored Groves from third. Full count with 2 out. Groves will be running. No, he won't be running. It's not no bases loaded. But this one's lined over to the shortstop, Garza, who throws it to first in time to catch Stewart. So Nuclears push a run across. It's now 2-0 for Newcastle as Sydney steps up to the plate in the bottom of the third. Oppenheimer still in for Newcastle. Facing off against Roberto Garza, who had that play to end the top of the third inning, rather. He'll lay off the first pitch. It's a slider for ball 1. And the second pitch, the 1-0 pitch to Garza. Low for ball 2. Oppenheimer all over outside of the strike zone. There's ball 3. Finally one down the pipe. Garza watches that one go by for a strike. Number 1. Swing and a miss. Strike 2. Garza pops this one up, shallow right. It'll drop in for a hit, and Annis plays it, keeping Garza just to a single. And Garza improves his batting average to 182. 1 for 1 in the game. Molly Monty steps in, the center fielder and leadoff hitter. Garza with the lead. Strike 1 to Monty. Garza, not a serious threat to steal. Has not had a stolen base this season. Oppenheimer with the 1-1 pitch fouled off. Monty takes a fastball inside for ball 2. Line shot to short center. That'll fall in for a base hit as well. Hit number 4 for Sydney. Garza safe at third as Van de Krat's unable to throw Garza out. Molly Monty reaches base on a single. Garza at third. Doug Powell, the designated hitter, stepping up with no out and runners on the corners. I don't see any activity in the Newcastle bullpen just yet. But it's not likely that Newcastle is going to be able to get out of this one without giving up a run, unless Oppenheimer, the 3.30 ERA pitcher, has got something up his sleeve. And Monty goes for second. He's thrown out. So that's the second time tonight that Les Groves has thrown Molly Monty out on a steal attempt. So just Garza on base. Now with 1 out, Doug Powell at the plate with an 0-1 count. Oppenheimer delivers a fastball fouled back. Not sure what Molly Monty was thinking there with going for the steal with no outs. Doug Powell definitely had an opportunity to move Monty along and possibly score Garza. Let's see what he does now. It eliminates the sack option, really. Unless Powell's able to pop it up to one of the deep outfield positions, Garza's may not be able to tag up and catch and run home in time. Counts 3-2 now to Doug Powell. Oppenheimer with the pitch fouled off towards the third base dugout. Hard ground ball towards the hole in the left side of the infield. Hahn plays it cleanly to first, and he throws Powell out, but Garza is able to score in that play, so looks like a sack grounder over to third. Otto Hahn able to throw out Doug Powell, but Molly Monty scoring easily. Wayne Southey steps up to the plate as Sydney pushes a run across, getting their first run of the game. 2 out, however, here in the bottom, bottom of the third. First pitch, fastball inside for a ball 1. Southey lifts a fly ball to right, and Ananis will play that one easily to end the third inning. Sailors get a run across. Nuclear still have the lead, 2-1. And this will bring up the bottom half of the Newcastle order. Otto Hahn, Van de Kratz, and Fatman due up. Seguin will remain in for Sydney on the mound. And the first pitch to Otto Hahn grounded to Blankhorn over at third base. He'll be thrown out easily at first. George Van de Kratz, the Dutchman, batting left. Takes the first pitch for ball 1 from Seguin. Seguin 2 walks and 3 strikeouts on the game so far, but he's given up 3 hits and 2 earned runs. Newcastle's bats able to move those runners along as Van de Kratz fouls off the 1-1 pitch. Ripped hard down the right side, and Gallegos manages to reach that one. Closes his glove on it for the out. What a play by Gallegos. Not known for his defensive capabilities, but that ball he was able to grab. And that's retiring Van de Kratz for out number 2. Fatman, the first baseman, steps up to the plate now for the Newcastle Nuclears. And the 1-0 pitch swung on and missed for strike 1. The 1-1 pitch at the knees for strike 2. Check swing, ball 2. Rodriguez is asking for an appeal. Didn't work. Fatman, the 2-2 pitch. This one's way inside for ball 3. Fatman earns himself a walk with a little bit of patience. That one came high and outside. That'll bring up Daniel Deturium, the 169 hitter so far in the season. 2 out, the runner on first. And the first pitch to Deturium, ball 1. Seguin having trouble finding the strike zone, playing Deturium very loosely. He's managed to get a strike there on the 3-0 pitch, the 3-0 pitch. And let's see what the 5th pitch does. Grounded to short. Blankhorn grabs it at third. Over to second for an out, but that's 3 down. So Newcastle unable to get anything going in the top of the fourth with the bottom half of their order. We're now into the middle part of the order for Sydney. Christos Blankhorn, the 231 hitter, is 1 for 1 tonight. He's stepping up to the plate against Oppenheimer. Here in the bottom of the fourth frame. Ground ball back to Oppenheimer. He takes it over, sends it over to first. Blankhorn's thrown out on the grounder. Back to the pitcher. Retiring the first batter, Zach Cooper, number 5 in the order, will step up, and the first pitch to him is a called strike. Fastball inside. Swings and misses at that one. He was digging low and in the inside corner. Cooper unable to make contact. 0-2 now. Line drive. Deuterium stretches forward. He's able to grab the ball, and that's it. Out number 2. What a play by Daniel Deuterium. That liner, hard shot, nearly over Deuterium's head, but he was in the right spot. Able to grab it. Ricardo Rodriguez steps up. With 2 out here in the bottom of the fourth. And the 1-0 pitch to him just catches a piece of it, fouling it off. And the 1-1 pitch called strike. So that slider came in outside. 86 miles an hour. Low and outside with a ball 2. And the 2-2 pitch lined out into left field. Stewart's on the move, unable to track it down. Rodriguez is around first. And Stewart plays it back in, but he's not able to get Rodriguez, who sprints into second with a clean double. So with 2 out, Rodriguez reaches scoring position. Gallegos up to bat. Rodriguez proving why he's the top hitter on the Sydney team. Although, curiously, Sydney's got him batting 6th in the order. First pitch to Gallegos, strike 1. He's also 1 for 1 today. Fastball swung on and missed. And the 0-2 pitch goes low for ball 1. And that's it. Oppenheimer catches him looking with an 87 mile an hour. With a called strike there. Anyway, that's retiring that'll retire the batter, and we'll move to the top of the 5th inning with Newcastle coming back up. Randolph Wilcox, 2 for 2, the leadoff hitter, and he grounds one over to Garza. The throw to first to retire Garza. So the first batter of the inning retired easily on a ground out. Newcastle 22-9 on the season with a .255 team batting average, scoring 132 runs and 29 homers. Their team ERA slightly worse than Sydney, 2.92. Sydney's got a team ERA of 1.76. An incredible bullpen ERA of 1.04. So look for Sydney to jump into their bullpen, especially if they catch a lead. Grounder from Ananis to right. Seguin hustling to cover. Ananis is out as the throw reaches first base. So that's 2 down for Newcastle here in the top of the 5th. Les Groves, the next batter. 1 for 1 tonight with an RBI. Scoring Wilcox back in the 3rd inning. And the pitch to Groves low for ball 1. Ball 2 to Les Groves. Very dangerous hitter. He is hitting .384 on the season. Now at 20 RBIs in the season. And the right-handed Groves watches that one go down the pike for strike 1, the 3-0 pitch. It's a fastball, 94 miles an hour, so 3-1 is the count, fouled off. Full count grounded over to Blankhorn, but he's easily able to glove that one and throw it to first for the out. So Groves is retired on a grounder to Christos Blankhorn. We're going to now see the Sydney bottom half of the lineup. Brian Roberts, the right fielder, Roberto Garza, the shortstop, and Molly Monty, the center fielder, due up for the Sailors. First pitch to Roberts, wrapped onto the ground into the center field. That'll clear the infield, and Roberts has himself a base hit. Roberto Garza, 1 for 1 today. No out with a runner on first. Garza bunts. Oppenheimer plays it, throws to first. It's off the mark, and Garza's safe at first. Roberts is on second, so Garza's bunted himself. What was probably intended as a sac bunt is now turned into a single. And Sydney quickly finds themselves with 2 runners on. The go-ahead run at first base with Molly Monty at the plate. Monty 1 for 2 today. And this changeup reaches the strike zone at Monty's knees for strike number 1. And he's flared a hit to right for a base hit. Roberts will move to third and Garza to second. We've got loaded bases with no out. Doug Powell stepping up to the bat. Designated hitter for Sydney, and quite quickly Newcastle's in a lot of trouble with bases loaded, no out. First pitch to Doug Powell. He's inside, missing. Ball 1. Powell already with an RBI on the game. Oppenheimer having trouble finding that strike zone, trying to draw swings out of Powell. He's not having any of it. 3-1 is the count. And wow, Oppenheimer's managed to walk Doug Powell. That'll force a run in, and we have a tie ball game as Sydney is scoring on a bases loaded walk to Doug Powell. Wayne Southey, third in the order, will step up to the plate. He does have 6 home runs on the season. Bases loaded, still no out. High fastball to Southey is ball 1. And that'll take the inside corner for strike 1. Sydney tying on a walk. I'm surprised. I'll be shocked if Newcastle doesn't have their bullpen going at this point. 81 pitches by Roderick Oppenheimer. There's a line drive to right field, and it'll stay in for a base hit. Garza and Monty scoring, and that's a 2-run single for Wayne Southey as Powell moves to third pace. Excuse me, Powell moves to second. Monty scoring from where he was. Christos Blankhorn stepping up, so Powell on second, Southey on first. And Sydney now has a 4-2 lead on a 2-run single by Wayne Southey. Blankhorn swings at his first pitch and fouls that one off. Oppenheimer in some measure of trouble at this point. Really going to need Newcastle to deliver some runs if he's going to come out of this with a win decision. Blankhorn swung on and missed, and that'll be strike number 1 of the inning. Excuse me, strikeout number 1 of the inning for today for Oppenheimer. Not striking out enough if you're the Newcastle Nuclears manager, Dylan Macaron, who clearly can't be happy with this 4-2 deficit here in a 3-run inning. Sydney is managing first to walk a run in, and then Wayne Southey with a 2 RBI single out to right center field. First pitch to Zach Cooper, second baseman, low for ball 1. And he's fouled that one off. Staying alive. Still 2 on with 1 out. Hard hit ground ball to Powell. Excuse me, to Turium. He's gloved it over to second for 1. And over to first for the double play. So a double play to get Newcastle out of this very dicey inning that cost them 3 runs. They now have lost the lead to Sydney and need to really buckle down to regain it. Tim Ebling, the cleanup hitter, stepping up to the plate for the Newcastle Nuclears. 0 for 1 today with an RBI. Coming on I believe it was a sac fly. First pitch to Ebling into the dirt for ball 1. Karol Segerin definitely finding his velocity today, as that fastball crosses the plate, 95 miles an hour at the knees. Strike 1. Way outside for ball 2. Segerin quickly falling behind in the count against Tim Ebling here. Showing some measure of patience. He swung on and missed at that one on the outside low corner for strike number 2. So full count. Fouling that one off. Shallow left. Southey out of play. Can't get that one. That'll be a foul ball. This one's fouled off to the right side now, as Ebling stays alive. And that's a called strike 3. 94 mile an hour fastball. Just on the bottom edge of the strike zone by Ebling's knees. He's not happy about that one. But off he goes back to the dugout. Walter Stewart will step up to the plate. 1 down now here in the top of the 6th with Newcastle batting. And the first pitch to Stewart, strike 1. And this one's lined off to the box seats behind third. Struck him out swinging, and Stewart unable to make any contact on that fastball. And he'll go down for out number 2. Otto Hahn stepping up to the plate. As Newcastle looking like they're not likely to score here in this inning. And this one's lined out straight to the third baseman, Blankhorn, for out number 3. That was a hard hit shot, but right into Blankhorn's glove. So we'll move to the bottom of the 6th frame as Sydney now will try to add to their lead, with Ricardo Rodriguez, their top hitting player, batting .316 on the season now, including his 1 for 2 effort today. Takes the first pitch for a strike 1. Oppenheimer still in 89 pitches later for Newcastle, but really got shelled in that last inning against Sydney with that run, the RBI walk, which I'm sure was not part of their plan. Oppenheimer with the 0-2 pitch fouled off. Here's a ground ball to Deuterium, fields it easily and throw over to first to retire Rodriguez for out number 1 here in the 6th. Dave Gallegos up. It's 1 for 2 today. He'll ground this one over to the first base side. Man fields it. Wilcox not able to cover first base in time, and Gallegos will reach first base on a safe ground ball played by first baseman Fat Man. Gallegos does have some wheels on him. 4 stolen bases on the season. He is the number 2 base thief in the Sydney lineup. 1 out. Brian Roberts up to bat. And the first pitch to Roberts low for ball 1. Doubtful if Sydney's going to risk a second out, like as they did back in an earlier inning, by having Gallegos steal, but Oppenheimer not taking any chances with the throw over to first. And another attempt to pick off Gallegos. The 1-0 pitch slider in there for a strike. And that changeup, ball 2 to Brian Roberts. Gallegos waiting for a chance to move. Fouled off the right field line. Ananis gives chase, but he's not able to catch it, so that'll drift foul into the seats. Ball 3 pitch to Brian Roberts. Roberts will draw a walk, and Oppenheimer gives up his second walk of the game. Of course, his first walk ended up scoring Sydney's second run back in the 5th. So Roberts and Gallegos with their leadoff. Oppenheimer, first pitch to Roberto Garza, high but goes in for a strike. Missing a second one high and outside for ball 1. Garza bounces that one foul along first. And swung on and missed the 1-2 pitch. And that'll retire Garza for strikeout number 5 today for Roderick Oppenheimer. So 2 out with runners on first and second. As Molly Monty steps up, you can hear the crowd getting a little bit loud for Molly Monty. Fly ball to left. Stewart will reel that one in, and that's out number 3. Sydney Strands 2 runners on here in the 6th, not able to pad their lead. And that'll bring up the Newcastle Nuclears here in the 7th frame. George Van de Kratz, Fat Man, and Daniel Deuterium due up. Van de Kratz with a dreadful 0.38 batting average this year. 26 at-bats on the season. He's only managed 1 hit. And the 1-0 pitch called strike on the outside edge of the strike zone. And the next pitch misses low and inside for ball 2. Van de Kratz swinging for that one a little bit low, but he earns himself a strike. Sharply hit ground ball to the right. It gets through into right field. Van de Kratz has his second hit of the season as he'll reach first base on a grounder out to Brian Roberts in right field. So with none out, Fat Man steps up. The first baseman's got a runner on first. Hot shot, grounded to left. Garza comes up with it, over to second for 1, over to first for the double play, and Fat Man grounds into a double play to Garza, the shortstop for Sydney. Quickly taking the wind out of Newcastle's sails as they thought they had something going there. Daniel Deuterium steps into the plate against Seguin. Check swing on the first pitch, and that'll be ruled a ball. But this time you can't hold up, and that'll be strike 1 on the inside pitch there. Seguin with the 1-1 pitch. And another check swing that'll be ruled a strike. Deuterium just not releasing his trigger here. Already falling behind to 1 and 2, and he struck him out with a fastball. Swung on and missed.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is 7th inning stretch time. We invite you to join in singing.
4-2 is the score for the Sydney Sailors. As we quickly, and it looks like they've canceled Take Me Out to the Ball Game. Fans just weren't having it today. Newcastle up to the plate here in the, Newcastle's done. Bottom of the 7th now with Sydney up to the plate. Roderick Oppenheimer still pitching for the Nuclears. Still looking for that win decision. Hoping for his team to come up with some runs, but quickly running out of frames. Doug Powell 0 for 2 today, but with 2 RBIs. Facing off against the right-handed pitcher Oppenheimer. Grounded to left. This will get through into left field, and it looks like Doug Powell's got himself a hit tonight. His 33rd hit of the season, improving his average to .292. Wayne Southey, 1 for 3 tonight with 2 RBIs. Stepping up to the plate for the Sydney Sailors. Swung on, line drive to left. Stewart makes the catch. Powell will not be able to tag up on that one. He's too slow of a runner. Stewart had that one way too quickly. Christos Blankhorn up to the plate, the cleanup hitter. Batting 4th in the order. 1 for 3 tonight. Ball 1 inside. Lets that one go by for ball 2. 1 out, Powell on first. This one's grounded to right. It reaches Ananis in right field. Powell goes to second. Blankhorn with a base hit. Oppenheimer has really not been able to keep the hits down tonight. He's given up 11. So it's not surprising that City's able to squeeze 4 runs out of 11 hits on the 2 runners on now with just 1 out. Zach Cooper stepping up. He's 0 for 3 tonight. He wants in on the action. He's looking for the right pitch to try and get a base hit out of Oppenheimer as well. Seems the rest of the team is doing it. And he'll watch that one sail by for quickly up to ball 3. Down the pipe for a strike. Called strike 1 to Zach Cooper. Oppenheimer misses with a fastball. That'll load the bases. Oppenheimer just not having a great outing. His 3rd walk on the evening. This will bring in Callie Reyes. He's warming up in the bullpen. The right-handed pitcher, Callie Reyes, with 4 innings on the season. He's given up only 5 hits, but 4 earned runs, a walk, and 3 strikeouts for an 8.31 ERA. Proving once again Newcastle with their 4.59 team bullpen ERA. Quite dreadful. Sydney going to their bullpen now. Already behind, could give up another run here with bases loaded, 1 out. First pitch to Ricardo Rodriguez, low for ball 1. Rodriguez is the top hitter in the Sydney lineup. This one's fouled off the down the right field line. And he takes the next fastball for ball 2. Swung on and there's a line down the left field line into deep left. Stewart running hard, but he's not able to catch up with it. So that'll be ruled a foul as it reaches the stands. 2-2 is the count. Strike 3 is the 5th pitch to Ricardo Rodriguez, and he's retired for out number 2. Callie Reyes really trying to pitch the team out of a jam here. He didn't he didn't earn any of these runners. They're all inherited. But he's trying to stop the bleeding for the Newcastle Nuclears. Dave Gallegos 2 for 3 today. He's been a menace getting on base. First pitch to him goes low and inside for ball 1. And another one low for ball 2. Strike 1 to Dave Gallegos. He'll watch the 2-1 pitch go, 3-1 pitch go in the dirt. Strike 2-1 pitch go in the dirt. And can't find the strike zone in that one. Second time tonight that Newcastle has walked a run across the plate against himself. So Sydney's scoring on a walk, bases loaded walk by Dave Gallegos. 5-2 is the score as Brian Roberts steps up to the plate, 1 for 2 tonight. Sydney looks like they're going to split the series here with Newcastle. It'll be their first win against the Newcastle Nuclears. Although they thought they had a win last night as well, and Newcastle was able to come up with a grand slam home run in the 9th inning. Swung on, grounded to third, and Hahn will toss that one over to second for the forced play, and that'll retire the side. So only 1 run given up by the relief pitcher for the Newcastle Nuclears. We now move to the top of the 8th as Newcastle tries to regain the lead, or at least even the score. Randolph Wilcox back to the top of the order again. Seguin still in for Sydney. But as the decision matrix stands now, Seguin has earned himself a win if the game ends with this score, and Oppenheimer will get the loss. 1-0 pitch to Wilcox, fastball taken for strike. Clocking 97 miles an hour. Seguin does have a bit of an arm on him. This one's away for ball 2. Foul back to the screen behind the catcher, Ricardo Rodriguez. Seguin nearly puts that one in the dirt. So it's a full count to Randolph Wilcox. And he watches this one sail by the knees, inexplicably failing to swing at that 96 mile an hour fastball. So that's a strikeout. Strikeout number 7 of the game for Carol Seguin, as Randolph Wilcox very annoyed at himself going back to visiting dugout. Satrio Ananas stepping up to plate against Seguin. First pitch to him is high for ball 1. The 1-0 pitch swung on, bouncing over to Garza. Makes the pick up, the throw over to first, and that will retire Ananas on an easily played grounder. Les Groves 1 for 2 tonight with a double and an RBI. We'll try to make something of the inning, although it's quickly fading here with 2 outs. Top of the 8th, Les Groves lets the first one go by for ball 1. Fouls off a slider for strike 1. And this one's grounded to third. Blankhorn charges hard, scoops it up, the throw over to first, and Groves is thrown out from the third baseman, Blankhorn, retiring the Newcastle Nuclears here in the top of the 8th. We'll now move to the bottom of the 8th frame. Another opportunity for Sydney to pad their lead, which now stands at 5-2. First pitch to Roberto Garza misses low for ball 1. Cali Reyes on to his second inning. Still having trouble finding that strike zone, as he's now pitched another ball. And a called strike to Roberto Garza as that one finds the center of the strike zone finally. Garza swings, hit sharply on the ground, straight up the middle, into center field. Van de Kratz will run after it, and Garza's got himself a base hit. The throw over to Wilcox, holding Garza to just 1 base. Molly Monty steps up to the plate with 1 on and no outs. He'll drop a bunt down, back to Reyes, throw over to first to throw Monty out, but Garza easily moving to second on the sacrifice bunt. Sydney's not fooling around here. They're looking for any other runs. They know from yesterday's game that Newcastle's capable of switching things around on a dime. As Doug Powell steps up to the plate and takes his first pitch low, but it's a called strike. 1 for 3 with 2 RBIs. Powell, hard shot on the ground to the hole in left. Into left field it goes. Garza around third, sliding home safe. And Powell, the run-scoring single, scoring Garza all the way from second base. Stewart unable to fire that one in time into Les Groves' glove. So an RBI single for Powell. As Southey steps up to the plate, it now stands at 6-2 for Sydney. 13 hits against the Oppenheimer and Race combination. Race has given up 2 hits and an earned run today, as he fires that one over to first to try to catch Doug Powell snoozing. And a fastball down the middle for strike 2 on Wayne Southey. So 1 out, 1 on. 0-2 pitch goes low into the dirt. And the 1-2 pitch catches Southey swinging. Sydney now has 2 outs against them, but the damage has already been done. A 4-run lead here in the bottom of the 8th. Christos Blankhorn, third baseman, is now up to bat. 21 RBIs on the season. 2 for 4 tonight. Blankhorn swinging. This one's fouled into the first base seats. 1-2 pitch. Strike 3, swinging fastball. Blankhorn is down and he leaves a runner on. The Sailors managed to push one across, increasing their lead. They've got some good insurance now, but we are in the meat of the order for Newcastle. Tim Ebling due up. Walter Stewart, the home run leader in the Australian division, and Otto Hahn not far behind him with 7 home runs of his own, 22 RBIs. Ebling 0 for 2 tonight, fouls off his first pitch. Carol Seguin still pitching here in the top of the 9th. He's looking for a complete game. Seguin has great stuff tonight. 7 strikeouts, given up only 3 walks, and just 4 hits. Clearly one of Sydney's top pitching, top members of the pitching rotation. As the 2-2 pitch is fouled off by Tim Ebling. Here's one grounded to third. Blankhorn has it, sends it to first on a rope. Gallegos easily catching that one to retire Ebling, and Walter Stewart will come in with 1 out. He's 0 for 2 tonight. He's been neutralized virtually. He'll take his first pitch low for ball 1. Stewart waiting to unleash some power. He's looking for anything he can work with. Ripped hard, fouled off to the right side. Gallegos unable to retrieve it. Ball 3 from Seguin to Walter Stewart. And the 3-1 count, swung on high, fly ball deep to right center. Roberts gives chase, but this one is gone. And we have a solo home run for Walter Stewart, who will improve Sydney to run number 3 here in the top of the 9th. That's home run number 9 for Walter Stewart on the season. Still in charge of the home run department here in the Oceanic League. Otto Hahn, another power hitter, will step up to the plate against Carol Seguin. First pitch to him is low, and the second one's outside for ball 2. Otto Hahn hits this one in the air to left center, and Southey gloves it for out number 2. And DeKratz now stepping up to the plate. He's 1 for 3 on the evening. mentioned earlier, only had his second hit of the season. And grounds this one to the mound. Seguin throws it to first. That'll be the game as Van de Kratz is retired at first on the grounder to the pitcher. And that's all she wrote for the Sydney Sailors at home to the Newcastle Nuclears. Sydney winning 6-3. It was looking like Newcastle's game very early on. They had a 2-1 lead. Sydney quickly turned it around in the fifth, with a bases loaded walk and then a 2 RBI single, just padding runs after that. So Newcastle answers with a home run in the ninth, but not enough to win the game. 2 errors on the game for the Newcastle Nuclears, giving up 13 hits to Sydney. Charged with the win will be the pitcher for Sydney, Carol Seguin, who gets a complete game win, and Oppenheimer with the loss, now falling to 2-5 for Newcastle. Well, that's all we have time for today here in Sydney, Australia, in the Bull Oceanic League. Thanks for watching the game, and until next time, that's Bull Baseball.